to dominate things. It's not enough to enjoy nature or a job or even a conversation. Man has to dominate. I think that's why we eat so much meat. I mean, there's domination for you. Man against animal. Who's going to eat who? Most men think vegetarian is an Indian word meaning lousy hunter. It's not smart or correct, but it's one of the things that makes us what we are. Here are a few scenes from this week's show. Harold tells me all the big shows do this. Shows like Laugh-In or Carol Burnett. I know Marlon Perkins does this kind of thing. I should also mention that we got special guests here, Dave Thomas and Graham Greene, and Bill's going to jump up and down until he hurts himself.
And now, here's the man whose career has done for Plaid what music videos did for lingerie, my uncle, Red Green.
Thank you, and here's the man who has done for my TV career what pigs have done for airplanes, my nephew Harold. Had some bad news up the lodge this week. Grouchy Radcliffe has passed away.
Oh, no. And I didn't know that. Grouchy's gone.
Yeah. I didn't know. Oh, we should do something. We should send flowers or something like that. No, a card. A card. We'll send a card. A sympathy card, yeah. Oh, I saw a lovely one the other day. It had a squished worm on the pavement, you know. And when you opened up the message inside, it said, sorry to hear that you hit the road. Now, we could send that. We could send that. We should do something like that. If we did something like that, we should do that. What should we do?
Why don't you try 2-minute silence? About 100 times. It's not that his passing was that unexpected. Grouchy's got to be the oldest farmer in the whole area.
He was liked. He was a very colorful character.
Especially his language. You know, I think he was a lot friendlier than he seemed. Because he'd stand there on his fence, yelling out obscenities, throwing bricks at people.
Well, he could be grouchy. You know, that's how he got his name, Grouchy.
He was difficult. You know.
Cranky.
Hard to get along with.
Obnoxious.
He was insane.
I hated him.
Everyone did, Harold. And the strange thing is that when Grouchy died, he was very, very rich. And there's now no friends and no relatives to get the inheritance.
I didn't really hate him. You know, I think admire is a better word.
Forget it, Harold. The only guy who has a chance is Junior Singleton. He went up there every day, made friends with Grouchy, did all the chores and everything. I think he's looking pretty smart now. He's going to inherit the whole darn thing.
I admire Junior. Oh, man. He's great.
You are pathetic, Harold. When I go, you're not getting what I got.
Well, when you go, I'll have everything I want.
Hi, you're watching the Red Green Show. You're lucky.
Oh, there's holes in my tent and the water's dripping in. It's falling on my hat and dripping on my chin. Always remember camping lesson number 1. If you got bugs in your tent, don't shoot them with a gun. All right. You're sitting at the kitchen table, stirring your coffee, minding your own business. Suddenly you look up, she's staring right at you.
Yeah, you realize your wife's been talking to you and you haven't been paying attention?
And here's the capper. She just said, well, what do you think?
Well, she's got you cornered. You can't say you weren't listening. And you can't say something like, oh, geez, I don't know, dear. Why don't you decide? I mean, that's a lame excuse. She know you weren't listening, right?
And she's going to get mad.
Oh, yeah. The best thing to do in a situation like this, don't look at her.
No. When she sees that blank look in your eyes, sees you breathing through your mouth, you're a dead duck.
No, the best defense is a good offense. Change the subject right then and there.
Want to know a great subject? Her. Tell her how great she looks. Say, how long has it been since I told you how much I appreciate every little thing you do?
Yeah, or just say, when was the last time we were out together on a nice evening?
Oh. Be careful with that one. That should only be used by a professional.
Yeah. The most important thing is to, while you've got her distracted, is to get out of the room fast before she remembers what she was talking about.
Hopefully she wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, like you.
I think you're going to notice a little more sensitivity in this week's Handyman Corner, because with Grouchy Radcliffe passing away and not having any relatives to celebrate or anything, a bunch of us has kicked in various car parts and assorted flotsam and jetsam. We're going to make Grouchy some kind of a headstone or a mausoleum or something. so that every time we go by the cemetery, we'll be reinforced with a comforting thought that he really is dead. Now, everything means something, you know, with this type of thing. For example, these car axle stands, what they will say to us is that every once in a while, it's a good idea for a man to spend the winter up on blocks. The radiator, that means it's okay to blow off a little steam. Wheel discs, well, they're mainly decorative. Now we're about to cross the line between being an artisan and being a handyman. Because I'll tell you, this project requires as much taste and artistic ability as it does a big hammer and the attitude to make it effective. And the thing with art is, there's no right way and no wrong way. All right, maybe there still is a wrong way. I decided to go instead with the handyman secret weapon duct tape. And don't worry about the damage to that acetylene torch. It was a rental. So now what we have is not only an attractive Art Deco headstone, it's also extremely functional. For example, I've installed the turn signals to hook them up to some of the Christmas lights there, and so now the deceased can signal his turn, right or left, up or down, you know. But with Grouchy, I think what I'll do is put the four-way flashers on, keep his options open. Actually, where he's going to wish I put in air conditioning. Maybe the lucky dice will make all the difference. You know, when somebody famous dies, like a president or Elvis or something, they always have an eternal flame. So what I've done is I've taken the gas tank out of Grouchy's car, and we'll just fire that up. Boy, that smells bad. There we go. There's your flame. The eternal part will depend on his gas mileage. And I've also put an ashtray in here, just in case Grouchy gets himself cremated. And I've hooked up the windshield washers down through this gas nozzle. They go into here and so on and go down and water that plant. Because I figure Grouchy's probably not going to get a lot of flowers with his personality. Let's see how that works. There we go. Well, that brings on a lot of feelings for me. How about you? Anyway, there's the kind of thing that you can do the next time some distant, far away distant relative of yours passes away. Until then, remember, if the women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy. Honk if you love inheritances. Speaking of honking, stay tuned for Dave Thomas, and we'll check out and see how Bill's doing in the smokehouse. I want to talk to all you middle-aged guys. I want you to know that you're not alone. I'm one of you. And every week, more and more of us are coming out of the tool room and admitting it. Admitting that we have nothing to say to anyone about anything. I know that feeling. Your wife probably understands. You've said it all to her before. You're still with her. You have nothing to add. That's all right. Unfortunately, there are some guys who have nothing to say, but keep talking. If you find yourself ranting about how people are parking their cars on your street, you have nothing to say, stop talking. If you find yourself going on and on about how Jeopardy is way better than Wheel of Fortune, or how hard these new orange juice cans are to open, or the high price of hammers, you have nothing to say. If you find yourself telling a hilarious story that you read in Reader's Digest, stop talking. No one is listening to you. The person you're talking to has glazed over and is nodding their head while they make up a grocery list, or plan their winter vacation, or vow never to get as old and boring as you are. So don't just keep talking until you think of something you may not. Remember, I'm pulling for you. We're all in this together.
Hi, Winston Rothschild here for Rothschild Sewage and Septic Sucking Services, reminding you, don't get hosed somewhere else. Call 1-800-555-SUCK.
Well, we had the reading of Grouchy Radcliffe's will. Junior Singleton was real excited because the lawyer had called him and told him specifically to get down there. I'll tell you, Junior had dollar signs dancing in his head.
Something tells me those dollars didn't dance into his wallet.
Well, being of sound mind and body, Grouchy bequeathed his farm and all his properties and all his investments and his domestic and international bank accounts to the Harmonious Church of Mars under the auspices of the Right Reverend Larry.
Oh, man.
He did remember us, though, Harold. Grouchy left his entire manure pile at the Possum Lodge. So we don't come out of it empty-handed. We are the heirs of manure.
Have you ever smelled the air of manure? So did Junior inherit anything for all his efforts?
Yes, sir. Grouchy left him his prize steer, Wanda the Wonder Cow. And I think Junior was pleased. He had an acceptance speech, which he yelled for some reason. And during that, he vowed to make that cow a tribute to Grouchy by having it butchered and eaten before the sun set on Radcliffe's grave.
Let's meet our contestants. Our contestant starting on the far end is my Uncle Red, and of course, Dougie Franklin and his brother Ben Franklin. Welcome to the show, one and all. Today's categories are atomic physics, the life of Monet, the Impressionist artist, differential equations, post-feminist poetry. I picked that one. Palindromes or cars?
Well, that post-feminist poetry sounds tempting. But I think I'll go with the cars, Harold.
Alrighty then. Okay, and remember, please, to phrase your answer in the form of an answer. All right. Question 1. What driver safety device was made mandatory in all passenger vehicles in 1962? What mandatory driver safety device was made mandatory because it was mandatory? They insisted upon it in 1962.
He opened a new road to landscape painting by applying scientific principles deduced from the laws of life.
No. Could you repeat the question, Harold? May I?
Yes.
What driver safety device was made mandatory in all passenger vehicles in 1962? Yes, Dougie.
I would have to say it would be the fire retardant asbestos lined fire suit.
No. Uncle Red?
The really big car?
No. The seatbelt. The seatbelts were made mandatory in 1962. Okay.
Here we go. Of that one.
Time for another visit with our pal, Ranger Gord.
Hi, Red. Hi, Harold.
Yeah.
Nice to see you up here at the fire tower. Always nice to see young people up at the fire tower. Been waiting for you.
Well, we can't stay long, Gord. Just came for that book that you said you'd lend me.
Oh, right. There you go, From Steer to Steak, the do-it-yourself how to slaughter book.
Great, that's terrific. Thanks.
You want a coffee? I knew you were coming. I made a pot. It'll only take me about 15 minutes to run up to the top. Get you a cup.
No, Gord, no, come on back. No, come on. I'm not going to interrupt you for that long. I see that you're in the middle of researching something important here.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking for a pet, Red.
Oh, boy. You going to try again, are you, Gord?
Oh, sure, yeah. There must be a pet for me out there somewhere.
Seems like every dog you get runs away on you.
Yeah. Last one stayed 2 days.
Well, that's good.
Then the tranquilizer wore off. He was gone.
Boy. What about cats? You ever try cats?
Yeah, 4 of them. Yeah, the last one I was sure wouldn't go far. He was blind, but...
You know what you need, Gord? You need an animal that doesn't move, like maybe coral or moss or something.
No, I need an animal with a sense of duty. One that'll stay with me up in the fire tower, just looking out over the forest for years on end, never questioning why, just knowing that it's his role in life.
Boy, animals that dumb are pretty much extinct.
Yeah.
Thanks, Gord.
All right. This is still anybody's game because no one said anything even close to right yet. Alrighty. In some states and provinces, it is still illegal to do what? At a red light. I'm assuming Ben.
The most popular of the series are the Hayrex, the Poplar, the Cliffs of Epsitat, and the... What the heck are you doing there? Look, what do you got? What do you got there? Come on, let me see. Come on, cough it up. Monet, look at that. Monet, we're doing cars, okay? And what are these? Your cheat sheets? You know, I have never been so humiliated in my entire life. You've humiliated me, you've let down the entire family here tonight. Now, look, let's try this once again. Harold, ask him the question again. You play the game by the rules. Try again.
Okay, Ben. In some states and provinces, it is still illegal to do what at a red light?